there.
very low
Yeah. Yes.
in a foreign country.
Yes.
He became a resident surgeon at the same hospital, that is Lagos University Teaching Hospital in 1978. He became a resident surgeon at the same hospital the following year and served with the utmost integrity, loyalty, and even fidelity to ethics for 3 years. That was from 1978 to 1981. And this is a man who was dedicated. You can just imagine the kind of students he produced,
Yeah.
kind of medics he produced. Because
And if he had energy in his 60s, the kind of
yes,
energy we witnessed, how about when he was a fresh graduate from school? Yeah.
now from 1981, because he had served there for 3 years, 1985, he worked as a senior resident and clinical lecturer at the surgery at Lagos University Teaching Hospital, same place. Professor Magoha was a consultant also, Lois, surgeon and urologist at the First Fountain and Showman Medical Centers, as well as the Motayo Clinic and the Duro Soleil Hospital by 1986. This is a man who dedicated his work to serving humanity, and both in hospital and in class. And that's why, despite the fact that he had served the Kenyan children and teachers at those capacities as the next chairman, as the CS for education, he could still get time and energy at 71 years going back to Maseno University to teach. This is a serious man, and that's why we are here talking about this great man who is going to be laid to rest today.
Yeah, Mosame, and it is at that point that now he decided, let me go back home. Let me take my talents, let me take my strengths. We do not know what exactly made him come back home, but I want to imagine that was part of his motivation, seeing as he's a great public servant, a man who's always willing to dispense the knowledge and the skill that he has. And so in the year 1988, he comes back to Kenya. So he comes with a degree in clinical medicine with his first master's and his wife, Barbara.
What kind of achievement was that? Very great achievement. So therefore, he could not stop there. You have mentioned that he came here back in 1988. His ascension through the ranks was steady but quick. The following year, that was 1989, he was appointed as a senior lecturer in surgery at the university's Department of Surgery. He became an associate professor of surgery at the same university in 1996 before being promoted to full professor in 2000. You get that?
Yes, yes. And so we are seeing him climb up the ladder steadily but surely so. So he comes in as a fresh graduate, having worked in Lagos, Nigeria for like 5 to 7 years, bringing in a lot of skill and expertise. He joins Nairobi University. And even as he continues to serve, he is also studying for other masters and other undergraduate studies. I don't know how he was tackling all this at the same time, but perhaps this also was a cocktail of what he really needed so that he is able to move from point A to point B. And we saw him ascend to the highest possible door at the university level, being the Vice Chancellor of Nairobi University.
Of course, in 2000, then he went to hold a very senior position at the University of Nairobi, including the chair of the academic department of surgery at the University of Nairobi's College of Health Sciences from 1989 to 2000. It's important also to understand that Professor Magoha was appointed Dean of the Faculty of Medicine at the University of Nairobi in 2000. He rose to the position of principal at the college in less than 2 years. Look at that.
Yeah. And
The man was armed with enough education, experience,
Uh-huh.
courage, and even the vigor to work.
Yeah. And so University of Nairobi is also one of those centers of education that will also not forget how Professor Magoha made them feel or how he worked for them. He had quite a number of issues that he did as a VC, and one was to create the university's first ever corporate strategic plan. The university had all along operated without a clear plan, and using these corporate strategic plan, then Nairobi University was able now to have major development activities, and now the strong leadership of Professor George Magoha, who is now the late. And we understand away from that, there was also very vigorous activity from the VC then, Professor George Magoha, in ensuring that the employees at the university were evaluated based on their performance. And you see that story of learners have gone to class, a lecturer has not shown up, or a lecturer has shown up for 10 minutes. Those things Professor Magoha started dealing with them at the University of Nairobi. The issue of missing marks, he started addressing all these issues. And I think that is one of the ingredients that gave the University of Nairobi quite a high stature when it comes to institutions of higher learning, especially back then. And these are the new management style that Professor Magoha prioritized. He was also very keen on consultation. We were told by the dons that we were speaking to earlier that he put a lot of consultation, and so it was easy to work under him. But most importantly, Mosame, and this is a problem that the current education sector is facing, especially when it comes to public universities, is the issue of funding. But we see that when Magoha was the VC at Nairobi University, he also did his best to also ensure there is supplement